this party started. Typically, I like to get started like, you know, 5, 10 minutes early, sometimes 20 minutes early, just because I'm lit like that. But today we're gonna, we get started right on time, baby, right on time. We got a special guest, y'all, special guest coming through. We have Mimi in the building. She will be in the building to come chat with us, break down some of the major mistakes that folks are going through when it comes to trying to break into cyber. Yes, this is another how to break into cyber uh, live stream, and we love it. I can't get enough of it. Let me see if we got some audio coming through. Audio coming through. What's up, Shams? Welcome in. Welcome in. Uh, Previous guest would love to have you as a featured guest. And Sham's got some amazing things going on. So check him out. Check out his profile. Go see what he has going on. And I know there's a battle coming up. I caught wind of the battle coming up. I will be present and in attendance. And then we got some cyber news, some good old cyber news coming through. What's up, Sham? We love those cyber news. I love the way that you articulate your thoughts. I love the way you break down these articles. It's very abnormal, abnormal in a good way, abnormal in a good way. Most people need to adopt some of the ways that you are going about reviewing news, reviewing information, and not just speed reading it. The way you slow down the reading, I mean, you chop it up, like from starting from the author all the way through all the any mentions of the different vendors, and where they're coming from, their mindset. It's fire. It's fire. It's fire. Most people. What's up, Sun 45? What's up, Mocha? We're talking about Sham Chat Cyber. He is in the chat right now. I'm just walking through what I really like the way he addresses his live. He doesn't just talk about news. He covers other items. So go check him out. Welcome in, everyone. We got a special guest coming through. Special guest coming through. We have Mimi. Mimi will be in the building. She goes live all the time. Um, yeah, Mimi is on fire right now. She's holding it down. We're gonna learn more about Mimi. We're gonna learn more about where she's coming from, how long she's been doing this, some of the mistakes, a lot of the mistakes that folks are making when they're trying to break into cyber. I join her live sometimes, and she covers a widespread, so very widespread of topics, and helps folks out. So it's all about paying it forward, helping folks out, and she's agreed to come chat with us today. So I'm a let me check on her to see where she is. Welcome in, Sam Kello. Welcome in. What's up, Big Am, Bernard, Cyberspace. Y'all, welcome in. Welcome in. Let me see what we have going on here. What's up, Luna? Deal Shop. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking about cybersecurity, and we have a special guest coming through, coming to chat with us. But as you all know, I welcome folks up. I welcome folks up to come chat with me, say what's up, say hi, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Ask questions if you're experienced in the space. I want to hear from you. If you are emerging in this space, I want to hear from you. And Mimi might have went live. Let me see if she's live. Let me see if she's live, because we might have to do a co-host situation. Oh, there she is. She is in the building. She's in the building. I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second too long. Let me switch up my scene here, and then I'm gonna let you up, Mimi. You're on the way. On the way, y'all. On the way. All right, we got Mimi coming through. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. How you doing, Mimi?
Hi Nate, how are
What's
you?
up? Am I loud and clear? How you doing?
Yeah, you're very loud and clear. I'm doing good,
All
thank you.
right, your audio is great as well.
Okay.
Thank you for taking some time. I know that we do this round and round thing about how to break into cyber, and there's a bunch of there's a bunch of gaps today that exist today. Before we get real into the nitty gritty of all those gaps and where people are making a lot of mistakes, and you know how I like to do it, I like to invite folks up. But before we start inviting folks up, we want to learn about Mimi. We want to know where you came from, what you've been doing, how long you've been doing this. Can you give the folks just a high level of get them caught up to where you are today?
Okay, so let me start from my background, which is the roots. So I studied information technology as my first degree, by the way, and I completed uni in 2018. And I started working in cybersecurity towards the end of 2018. I started actually as a system administrator because that's why I always preach that cybersecurity is not, is really like an entry level role. And then I also transitioned into a cloud security engineer within the same organization. And after a few years, I moved to a different organization as a cloud security engineer and compliance specialist because I had developed my experience and skills from the previous organization so much that I got another offer from a different organization.
All right.
And I also have a master's in cybersecurity, by the way. And then I'm still in cloud security, and currently I'm the Oracle Cloud Operations Lead in the current organization I work for. I'm more focused now in Oracle. I have experience in Amazon Web Services as well. It's my core skills. So Amazon Web Services and OCI. I really don't do Azure, but I know it's part of the cloud. Anyway, uh, I'm also a Nigerian, but I live in Canada and I've lived previously in the UK. I had my master's in the UK and I was working for a bit whilst I was in the UK for a company based out of the UK, which is Canada. And I've seen oftentimes how a lot of people tend to make so much mistakes when trying to get into this field at the same time. Judging from the way I started, right? I think I knew how to sell myself, how to sell my skills, what I had to offer. And I also knew how to ask the right questions too at the same time. Because this is part of the things I think generally has helped me. I see a lot of people trying to get into cybersecurity, especially people from, let's say, nurses and even people from customer care support. And most times they ignore some foundational skills they already have from their current jobs because they already have skills which is required in cybersecurity. And sometimes people also want to get into cybersecurity, but they just want to fly from, they don't want to start from the ground. Just want to get to the top so quick, so quick, so quick, and then they leave the fundamentals out, which is not so safe entirely because imagine you getting a job or you being in an interview, you're not able to speak or explain systems or how it connects properly because you left out some things you're supposed to pick up. Anyway, which is one of the reasons why we are here today.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great, fantastic intro. Let me welcome some folks in. What's up, Speed Limit? What's up, Damie? J Tech, welcome in, bro. Too Nice Gaming, Kabi, Thado, Root, Victor,
Have
everyone.
Sham.
And Sham, welcome in.
Yeah.
Welcome in, cyberspace. I see y'all over there. Thanks, a lot of familiar faces, and I'm so glad that we took the time to make this happen. Mimi, you said a lot of great things. Everyone, you know how I do it. I want you to request up. You get an opportunity to interface with myself, Mimi, and the others. But I have been changing things up a little bit. I don't just let everyone up. I do a quick little review. If your profile looks sketchy, there's no post, there's nothing. Your name is odd. I may not let you up. So drop your information in the comments. What's up, Shreem? And then we'll try to get to them best we can. If you request up, it accelerates you to the front of the line. So keep that in mind. All right. You said while folks try to request up, I want to touch on a couple of things that you came up that you mentioned. Love that you did the masters. I think let's start there. Why did you choose the
Okay.
masters?
So it's simple. Personally, I'm from a background where God bless his soul. My late dad, he's someone that likes education a lot. So I just have natural love for education. I did not do a master's because I was believing a master's was going to help me in cybersecurity. It was just a meeting that I love education. And I was also going for my PhD as well. That's how much, I love education from my background. And generally, I'm part of the people that also believe you don't need to study a bachelor's degree in this field for you to be successful or for you to even get into this field, right? But however, I don't discourage education because it's an important part. Education has helped me in life, even in terms of communication skills, how to speak with people, because I'm from a different part of the world entirely. Do you get it? And I've been opportune to work with people from different diversity, just name it, Asians, Europeans, Americans, and even Middle East too at the same time, right? And I believe because I studied in a different place from where I come from has also helped me to relate with different people. So which means if I meet you today and I want to talk to you, except we don't just connect, I find it easy to have a conversation with people, especially if you're speaking the language that I understand. When I mean language, you're having a discussion or you're talking about something that I hold dear to my heart. Maybe it could be cybersecurity, it could be software development or something like that. They are part of the things that I've not actually added or discussed about when I was starting my career. I also intern as a software developer, so I write Java back-end services. I'm a code. If I was doing software engineering, I would have been a core Java engineer. And I learned this on my own, by the way. So I did Java in school, part of my modules, and I hated Java. I did not know anything at Java. So, which is why I always say, you don't know it because you don't want to learn it. It's as simple as that. When you bring out the interest that you want to learn it, you're going to understand. Gradually, it's a process. Personally, when I was doing Java, I had a C, one of my worst results, by the way. That's because I did not know Java. I struggled the entire semester with that particular thing. And I would go home with my roommate and then we'll start laughing about what we just learned in school. But then I picked it up personally aside from the schoolwork. So there were two things involved. It's either I just didn't connect with the lecturer or the way he was teaching wasn't really the style that I understood. But I started doing self-learning a lot on my own because you see in tech, you will do a lot of self-learning. You have to. If you want to be successful, if you want to learn, if you want to grow in this part, you have to learn on your own. When a lecturer tells you something in school, for example, you don't expect him to give you like feed you from A to Z. He's giving you basics so that you can go and do your own research, which has also, helped me generally in life or in my career. Do you get it? So with education is because I love school. That is why I went to do a master's in cybersecurity.
I think that's great. Some people don't know what their why they're doing it, and you have your why. I love the why. The why is amazing, and it's always great to see some of the other people's why. Why'd you choose this? Why'd you go that route? For instance, you mentioned Oracle, and by the way, everyone, we're letting folks up. So I see a flood of people just came in. What's up, Samir? What's up, Nighthawk 44? Some familiar friendlies out there. What's up, Kelvin? What's up, Rennie? Y'all, if you feel free to request up, and you get the opportunity to ask your questions, share some insights. You mentioned Oracle is something that it sounded like it was a solution that was at the company that you're gaining knowledge at. But then you also mentioned AWS. Like, was that something that was through any companies, or was that like something that you had done self learning for?
So with Oracle, it was through a company. We're doing a little bit of Oracle databases at that time. So Oracle was not this big the way it was, in the 2018, 2019, or 2020. Oracle was also part of my module in school, but that was the database part of it, Oracle DB. But then I also picked up MongoDB at that time. So I had like less interest in Oracle. But when I got a job, the company I was working for, they were using Oracle databases. Do you get it? And then the DB engineers did not know anything about security, like, or understood. We have database engineers, but at the same time, they're not so focused on security. We have software engineers too. They're not so focused on security. Anyway, I started with looking at database hardening when something happened in the organization. I was just playing around it and I picked interest in Oracle, right? So they started with AWS at that time, the business, and then they furthermore started to acquire and started utilizing Oracle Cloud environment, which is where I started learning it from. And then during COVID, in 2020, that's February, March, April, the lockdown period, gave me enough time because now I was no longer working in person. My job at that time was an on-site one. So I started working from home and I decided to pick a course and then learn another course, which is when I did Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. associates, that's their certifications. I also did their professional tour at that time, and then I picked more interest. I started doing more for the organization that I was working for because of the knowledge I had gotten from that training. So even once I was learning, there was like a whole training, but at the same time, when the guy would explain or talk about something, if I don't understand it much, I would go to Google. Then we didn't have ChatGPT. I would go to Google and then or go to YouTube and search for more videos. Then we had very limited videos at that time compared to the way we have so much resources, now. But that knowledge alone really helped me. I started doing a little bit of Oracle here and there. I already had my AWS knowledge. And then I furthermore went deep into Oracle and realized that most businesses, especially the finance sector, like the banking organizations, just name it, even the way you have Bank of America, Chase Bank, they still utilize Oracle databases till date, their base database. Most of these old banks, they are still using Oracle. Now, I started growing in that field. Like, I knew that, if I focus on this area, I was not going to be out of job. Do you get it? But then I need to also make myself stand at the same time, which which sparked my I like money, obviously. So I think apart from love, money was the second thing. I like comfort. So I like comfort, and my friends usually call me minister of enjoyment because I like enjoyment. But at the same time, I love learning too. At the same time, I'm someone that is very inquisitive and curious. I could ask 1.1 million questions at the same time. Do you get it? But I knew how to ask the right questions. And then I had a mentor. The mentor that I had, funny enough, was not a security guy. He was a cloud engineer, but he had a very core strong skills in AWS. So we did a training, I, my mentor, and two other guys that he was mentoring. But then I became his favorite because whenever we have the class, before the class, I always do my homework. I would learn and then write down questions or things that I don't understand and things that even him has not actually looked at. And then we'll start debugging in our call. And there was something he told me. He just told me that if you continue like this, you're going to go far in life. That mostly that you make me prepare before I
Hold
in that way.
on. I got you.
Yeah.
I had lost audio for a second, but I'm clear now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is great. This is fantastic, and it's a lot of momentum, a lot of learning opportunities, a lot of putting yourself out there, a lot of asking questions, being vulnerable, and not just regular questions. Great, you called them the right questions, and I resonate with that. And I'm asking folks, whenever you come up here and you're asking questions, don't just aimlessly ask a question. Don't ask a question that ask a question for yourself. Get super targeted with that question. Have brevity. Get concise with your question and get it out there and land it. Mainly because this is practice for even the real world. When you're interfacing with senior leadership, executive leadership, they don't have time for rambling and going around the sun to give the answer or ask a question. So that's something you can do. What's up, Tech Dens? I see you over there. Um, what's up, Gideon? Welcome in? What's up, Nelly? Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's see, Lumia Tex. I see you over there. Let's see who else. Kabi, Kim Star, a bunch of people. Dazzle, Zegabytes. Welcome in. Welcome in. Glad to see so many new faces. Uh, and Mimi, I can look. I see you're getting situated. So we'll give this opportunity for folks to come on down. Come on down and request up. Can you hear me just fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. All right, I'll keep the questions rolling and until other folks request up. And let's see. You had so many great things from the skilling up, leveling up. Is there any more to say about the level up? I know you mentioned a couple of good things. What else have you done to get leveled up once you're established in the space?
So the thing is, um, I think sometimes people underestimate their capabilities or what they can do. Do you get it? And they get scared when they are put in positions for them to actually put themselves out there. What I mean is, I've had some technical skills where I would think is not good enough, or I don't think I'm good enough for this role, or this role is too senior for me. They call it imposter syndrome. I've had it, but at the same time, I think I'm also one of my biggest cheerleaders too. At the same time, I would tell myself randomly, I have a discussion with myself that this is a piece of cake. You're someone that can easily learn this thing. Do you get it? Why are you stressing yourself about it? And so far, when it comes to technology, if you don't try to level up in terms of trying to learn, it leaves you behind because technology evolves every day. It is an area that grows drastically. It's not waiting for anybody. So the rest depends on you. Apart from the fact that I work full time and I have a particular technical stack that I already know, I try to learn different things at the same time. One of the things that I picked up is to try and do a little bit of study daily apart from my full-time job. So even if it means reading, even if it means like going through TikTok and then watching your life and then picking different informations here and there, it helps me. Do you get it? And I think is like a tradition, or is like a routine now for me that I have to study or learn something about. It could be an attack that has happened. I read about it. I go to Medium sometimes, and then sometimes I also go to the NIST. I was looking at currently. I'm actually reading the NIST 800 framework for zero trust security stuff. My point is, I try to get myself abreast with the current industry trend in terms of leveling up, because sometimes this discussion or this sort of topic might come up. If you're not, if you're not familiarized with these areas, you won't be able to contribute when there's a discussions like this, right? So I try to always make myself updated with the latest industry trends.
I love that. And we got Shreem here. She was a previous guest. We talked about imposter syndrome when she came through. We appreciated it. Shreem, did you want to jump in, or did because also have a question that related to something Mimi just said.
I also had a question. Hey everyone, good morning, happy Wednesday. I had a question about my own personal experience and path, and just wanted to know what she thinks maybe I should do.
Hit us with it.
Is it the time to
It
ask
is
that
perfect
question,
time.
or should I
Perfect
wait?
time.
Okay. Okay, so I don't want to take up too much time. I'm a little busy myself, but I have a background myself in education. I am Washington State certified as an educator. I have my certificate in IT, and I also have my certificate in cybersecurity. I want to go back to school, and I'm looking at WGU, and I'm really confused right now personally because I am 75% into my associates. So if I went back to WGU, I would have to earn my bachelor's, as well as if I picked IT or cybersecurity. So I'm like, what do you think I should do? I know you can't make that choice for me, but since our paths are similar, do you think I should just finish my education background and then go back, and because I'd have to start over if I did cybersecurity? I have a few prereqs, but I would pretty much have to start from the beginning if I did cybersecurity or IT. But I do have some prereqs, and I do have some credits for education where it wouldn't take me so long to get my bachelor's in education.
So currently, you're trying to get your bachelor's in education, right?
Yes, that was my path first, and then I switched over, and I was like, you know what? I like computers. I like IT. I have more passion there. When I think about waking up every morning and making lesson plans, I'm not so passionate about that, but I do like to tinker around with, the computer. I like to figure out why the printer's not working, things like that. That's what I get more caught up in versus what do I want to do at 12 o'clock today for 5 year olds. And that was another thing, like maybe if I get a bachelor's and I'm able to teach older children, I would feel more passionate. But yeah, I'm neurodivergent, so I have ADHD, and I tend to switch up, the moment I lose interest. And so I'm trying to figure out like where should I like really niche down and get this bachelor's degree, and then I could always go back and do something else, which is probably what I am going to do anyway. But what should I do first?
You said something to an extent, like you said earlier on, that our backgrounds are similar. That was how I started. I like computers. I like the hardware. Actually, I wanted to study computer engineering, but went for information technology last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're already doing education, and I believe you're 75% almost done, right? Which means
Yes, with an associate's, not a bachelor. So I wouldn't be as but yeah. So yes,
associate is like 2 years, right?
yes, uh-huh.
So I would suggest you complete it because you are almost done with it. And after which you can furthermore to do cybersecurity or IT. However, for the fact that you're studying cybersecurity or IT does not mean that is how that is enough alone. You're going to need to do a lot of self-study, even if you're studying cybersecurity or IT, because that alone will not get you a job. This is me being brutally honest with you. Now, they're going to teach you a lot of things. I personally, during my master's, or even let me use my master's since it's the latest one. I did ethical hacking, I did network security, I did information governance, I did risk management, and a lot of things. So your lecturer is not going to be the one to tell you pick this or you have to do this. That decision is left for you alone. You would think about all these things and ask yourself, which of these do I want to niche down? Because one of the problems I generally see when it comes to people trying to get into cybersecurity is being confused. They are trying to learn everything at the same time, which makes it, so difficult, and then they start complaining because they are overwhelmed. So that decision, you're supposed to make it yourself. Since you're coming from education background, you get it. And I believe, I don't know, I believe or I think compliance might suit better with your skills. However, I also see that you're somebody that is also very technical. You like fixing things. SOC at the same time might function well with the kind of brain you have. You have HDAD, right?
Yes, I do.
Which means you need something exciting that would be able to take your attention or keep you focused. If you do compliance, it's going to be like a routine thing. And knowing our health the way it is, you're going to get bored if you do just that alone. So which means even if you're going to do compliance, there'll have to be a mixture of something else in cybersecurity. So it could be like cloud security engineering, you get it, and then you can add it compliance, or you can look at SOC. But when you go to the university to learn cybersecurity or IT, you're going to be taught a lot of things, but you have to make that decision. And to be fair, I would advise that decision is made before you start school. So,
Absolutely.
which means you have to do your homework.
Thank you. No, I definitely will. I have a friend that has also said the same thing and suggested that I get into GRC. How different is compliance in GRC?
Oh, um, so GRC is governance, risk, and compliance. They are not different.
That's what I wanted to make sure of because there's so many different names. So, and as a neurodivergent, I tend to lose track of these names.
Yeah,
So,
you can
I
be
just
a
want to make sure that my friend was trying to put me on the right path, and she was really she like suggested skill weed. There were some other things that she was really trying to put me on and help me with. And so, what you're telling me is exactly what like it's. I'm not surprised. Um, Pretty much that's what I was gonna do. I just was a little disappointed because I'm so motivated and inspired to get into cybersecurity right now today. But like you said, I do really need to go ahead and finish this degree. I do know that. But once I am done with that, I do have a friend that already is like pretty much holding my hand and like walking me through it. And I just wanted to make sure that I know the right steps and that I'm not gonna end up in a career where I spent time and I'm not happy, because I tend to do that. That's why I'm 37 now and still, getting into cybersecurity because I've always just settled for something that would pay my bills right now and would get me, to the next month. And I'm trying to figure out like, do I still find my passion and go with what I'm passionate with, or do I just, do what pays the bills?
For me, I'll be honest with you. I'm passionate about cybersecurity, and it also pays the bills. So there are two things. I think cybersecurity pays well. Do you get it? Maybe at the beginning of it, you might not, make the kind of money you were anticipating. But as you grow, and then you're able to tell the business you're applying to that I am worth every penny. You get it. The rest is left for you to at the same time. And with your age, life begins at 40, by the way. So for me, I'm still a baby. I don't know about you, but life begins at 40, which means, listen, I genuinely don't think, I might be wrong or someone might think differently, but I genuinely don't think age is something to determine what people should actually do, especially if they have the energy to go for it, and then the finance too at the same time, because that plays a huge role, right? The bills need to be
Yes, it does.
with the age. To be fair, for me, I still consider you as young. Do you get it? And you have a whole lot of time ahead of you if you want to actually study or do cybersecurity. And you see, with GRC, one of the things I've noticed is that most people think GRC is just theoretical, but it's not entirely true. Do you get it? There are still technical aspects of GRC.
Yeah. When I hear GRC, my brain tags on to governance, government. And, my brain tends to forget the compliance, even though it's implied. So my brain is just a little wired different, and I tack on different notes to different things. And so that's why I try to keep it all aligned. But yeah, when you said I'm still young, I appreciate that. I opened up this app today and somebody was talking about they're a 36 teenager. And I feel the same thing. Like, I feel like I'm a teenager still, and I still ain't figured it out yet. And I'm still trying to figure it out. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to drop off because I'm still getting my kids ready for the morning. I homeschool as well. So I do, education every day with my kids. And I tinker, and I still do my passions. I'm trying to figure out, like, where should I really, niche down. So I'm gonna take everything that you guys have told me. I network with Nate on a daily, pretty much, and I'm gonna just keep you guys updated and ask you questions, and make sure that I stay keeping myself accountable, because I don't want to end up disappointing myself at the end of the day. So thank you guys. Have a great day. I'm gonna still listen, but I have to drop off, and
Cool.
I'll talk to you guys another live.
Perfect. I'll drop you down. And Shreem said a couple of things I want to tag in on. I'm glad she's still kind of listening in. She said skill weed. I quickly searched it up, y'all. We got the information is at our fingertips. Skill weed looks like it's got some good things going on. I didn't look at the prices or anything, but they look super reputable. And C-Risk, ISACA's C-Risk, they prep you for. They get you ready for that certification, and they open the door to roles like GRC analyst, risk assessor, IT risk analyst, data privacy analyst, third-party risk analyst. A lot of great things to like segue you into these great roles that I think would fit you really well, Shreem. Plus, you also mentioned you didn't call it a mentor, but it sounded like she said that someone that she's connecting with is she called it hand holding. That sounds like a mentor. And you don't, not all the times do we have to label someone as the mentor, but if they're taking on these different type of responsibilities, if they're taking on and giving you these type of deliverables and action items to work on, lean on them. They especially if they've already been there, done that. I see someone has requested up. I was just checking you out, Zell. I'm gonna let you up, bro, and see what you got going on. And welcome in, Zell. Did you have a question, comment, ideas? What you got? What you got going on over there?
Thank you so much. How are you guys? And I really appreciate your discussion. So my question would be like, I do have a health background. I do have a master's degree, and I want to change career. So I was wondering, like, which one is better? Is it data or cyber security? Which one do you recommend for me?
I missed the first part. You said you got a master's in what?
No, he doesn't have a master's, he doesn't have a bachelor's, but he's trying to change career and is trying to decide between data and cybersecurity, right?
Yeah, I do have a master's degree, and yeah, you're right. I just want to decide which one is better, and based on the prospects of these two careers, I want your advice.
And I'm still not following on
Is
like
it,
the.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you
Okay,
on the.
let me explain. I think he said, I guess because, so for context, just in case you're still here, I mentioned a master's degree does not mean you have to have a master's degree to get into cybersecurity. Like I said, it's a me thing. I love education and, I love studying and I love exploring and learning new things. So that's different. That does not mean you need a master's degree for you to get into cybersecurity. I'm just mentioning that for context. Because Zell said he doesn't have a master's, but he's trying to change careers, if I heard him correctly. And then he's trying to decide between data and cybersecurity, right?
Yeah, you're right, Mimi.
Okay. Nate, do you want to take that or you want me
Yeah.
to?
So I think we need a little bit more definition here on the data side. Are we talking big data, data analytics, cloud computing type of data, or uh, or are we balancing cybersecurity against another type of information security? I'm a little lost. Help me out, man.
Hmm. I think if
Uh,
I'm to
right.
clarify for him, he's in between. He wants to study cyber or data, and he's asking in a nutshell which of them is more lucrative in terms of jobs, I believe. And this particular area is something I genuinely advise people to do their homework and do the research and then decide. Because if I'm to advise or say something, I would always pick cybersecurity because that's obviously the field I'm in. And I think cybersecurity is obviously more lucrative than data. Because I know so many people in data and the struggle to at the same time, and how also AI is doing or being able to do some particular or sort of task for data analysts. So it's different. If you say data, are you referring to data science or big data, as Nate asked earlier on? Or what are you trying to do in data exactly? Because when you say data, is very broad.
Actually, I plan to study data analytics. That's what I was reading about, and actually, I was also taking courses about cybersecurity and considering the prospects. As you have said, which one do you have does have a lucrative payment? Yeah, that was the main question. I was
Gotcha. Okay, I'm tracking now.
in the middle. Yeah.
Both have their paths. Both have big dollars. Both have entry level into the spaces. Both have educational routes. I would say that they're pretty vastly different. However, uh, they can interconnect with one another. So if you were to go for a data analytic role, you could leverage that knowledge, leverage that industry that you gain information in to segue into cyber at one point in the future, perhaps, especially if you have a desire, especially going in, knowing that I one day want to bolt on, layer in cybersecurity. You can look for opportunities to align cybersecurity principles, concepts, methodologies in with your ventures on the data side. So I would say maybe it's both. Maybe it's a linear path. Maybe it's straight to cyber. We're up here. All we talk about is cyber, so we're gonna shoot cyber all day, every day. At the end of the day, it is your decision. At the end of the day, it is something that you should get more versed on within cyber. I heard that you're doing some education. Continue that education. Continue leaning on communities. Lean on mentorship. Lean on folks who been there, done that. Go look at different roles that are out there I call them dream roles. Like, don't just look for the entry level role. Look for levels up, and then map all the way to that dream role. That's my strategy, anyways. Let's keep it moving, y'all. I see we only have less than 20 minutes left with Mimi. Thank you. Great questions, Zale. Hang out if you want. If you have another question, feel free. But let me get to Vivian. What you got over there,
Okay.
Vivian?
Thank you so much, Nate. I just joined in. Thank you, Mimi. Mimi, please, I have one fast question. I think I've asked during your like before. So I asked about transition to GRC. You did mention about introduction to cybersecurity from Google, which you say. But in my own case, I already have CompTIA A plus. Does that covers the foundation?
Yes, however, I posted a video recently because somebody asked me about project ideas for GRC, right? You can,
Okay.
and since you've done A plus, I believe you have some foundational knowledge of
Yeah.
what GRC entails, and you can pick up some of those project that I mentioned. Do a security assessment for a small or an imaginary business. Do
Okay.
the 5 different projects, because one thing I want you guys to understand is the fact that you see cybersecurity is really an entry level role, which means an employer would expect some level of experience before they hire you. Do you get it?
Okay.
And you would need to tell them something, you would need to showcase them something, right? Which is the
Okay.
end of me always pounding on the fact that work on projects. You might call it that you're learning, but those learning that you're doing is typically one of the things you will do in your everyday job. Do you get it? So
Okay.
yes, it's projects. Try and put them in a way that you can discuss or talk about them in an interview.
Okay. Then, sorry, you did mention of ISO 27001.
Yes.
And yeah, between that and NIST, which one should I go for?
Please do both. Don't do just one.
Okay.
Yes, because most businesses are not expecting you to just have ISO 27001 knowledge. They would expect you
Okay.
to know these two at the same time. In most cases,
Okay. Sorry, for the tools I will need as one going into GRC, which one will you recommend specifically?
when you say tools, what do you mean by the tools you would? Do you mean like
Uh,
plugin?
as a platform that will allow me to practice what I need to know going into GRC.
Okay.
Someone did mention a GRC platform like ServiceNow GRC, was talking about Archer GRC, and I was really lost. I didn't really
Oh,
get.
so I think the person is trying to tell you on a platform you can build your projects on. You see, there's no specific one. Even with
Oh,
GRC can also be working in the cloud environment and evaluating cloud resources.
okay,
Yes,
okay,
there's
okay,
a GRC can also be person can also be working in service now and then evaluating those tickets at the same time and making sure that they don't have backlogs, or if they do, is there a reason why? All those things are part of the things as a GRC person you might also be doing.
okay,
Even
okay,
even Achat at the same time. So you can pick. I think Achat is free, so you can pick it up.
okay, okay. So
You
what
get the
happened
basic
after
one.
building? Yeah, the project. What happened?
You start putting yourself out there by simply applying for job. By the way, apart from putting yourself out there, one of the things that we fail to do is to also, you see, LinkedIn is another good is another good place for you to also sell yourself. Those projects that you're working on, go and brag about it on LinkedIn. I've seen
Okay.
people do something very tiny, and the way they discuss about it, I'll be asking myself, because I'm Nigerian, do you get it?
Yeah.
I believe I'm going to ask myself, is this actually worth the hype? But over the time, I realized that, you see, you tell it the way you want people to see it. That's what they are doing.
Okay. Thank
So
you so
talk
much.
about those
Thank
projects.
you.
Post them if you're able to post 2 to 3 times, because you know what you're looking for, right? Talk about
Yeah.
those things on LinkedIn. Put the link to the resources, or what, or where you've kept the projects, so that people can go and do your work and see what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Nate. Thank you.
All good, Vivian. Great questions. And I see someone, Abdo, put in the chat. I got her. She needs the roadmap.
I think even One Trust, somebody mentioned One Trust. You can also do One Trust training for free at the same time. They actually don't pay. If you go to their website, you can see get their training for free. And usually their trainings are usually live, which means you get a teacher that is actually virtually teaching you. And the last time I checked, as at 2023, 2024, and yeah, early last year, they were still free. I don't know if things have changed now, but you can also use One Trust.
Yeah, good stuff. So I have a disclaimer or a warning, everyone. Um, if someone is saying that they can help you on the back end and hit me with a DM, uh, be leery. Just be careful and always protect yourself. Don't pay anyone dollars. You shouldn't have to pay dollars for things. You shouldn't have to share anything like any personal information. If someone genuinely wants to help and provide you with a roadmap, it probably is just a link to a reputable website. So don't just randomly click on links that you're networking with someone in the chat. I'm okay with you networking with folks in the chat, but protect yourself. Protect yourself, protect your family, your friends, your organizations that you work for. Even when you're up here on the panel talking, you don't have to give so many specifics that if your employer were to hear about it, they may not like that. So protect your organizations where you're coming from. Protect yourselves at all times. So I'm just putting that caveat out there. Someone in the chat is saying, "Yo, I got you. Hit me up in the DMs." Just they may not be a friendly. They may not be completely endorsed, and you may find yourself getting hit with, okay, that's going to cost you $500. So I'm sorry I took the time to say that, but please be careful, y'all. Please be careful. Cybercrime is happening in the real
Daily.
time. All right, we got Gideon. Well, welcome in, Gideon. He's a friendly. He's been here multiple times. What you got over there? Question, comments, ideas?
Hey, Init, hey, Mimi, how are you guys?
Hi,
Well,
Gideon.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question concerning my masters. Mimi, you say you got a master's in cybersecurity, so I just wanted to ask about your experience with, in when you are doing your masters, and how were you able, is it a must to do bachelor's degree to go into masters in cybersecurity?
So the school I went to, I realized they have cybersecurity in two forms. They have a different type of cybersecurity and the one I did. So the one I did was mostly for people that had a technical knowledge, like you've studied IT or electrical and electronics engineering, something related. And then if let's say you're coming from a different background entirely, they give you another type of cyber. It's still cybersecurity, but I've forgotten the name of it because they added something masters in cybersecurity with something is different. I did course cybersecurity, by the way. So yes, the school, depending on the school. So my school had they had like a requirement that you need to have in order for you to be able to do masters in cybersecurity. And then if you don't have that, there's another part of cybersecurity that they still have for those that have no foundational knowledge or skills in cybersecurity before applying for the program. But that was a different, it's the same department, but a different course that is a standalone. But we had like similarities in terms of modules because they did ethical hacking. So at the same time, I had a friend in that particular department, so they did ethical hacking, which was part of the things we did. But they did not do some of the things we did. Like we did two types of network security, one of which they did, and the other one they didn't teach them. It was different because it was more high level.
Yeah, go ahead, Gideon.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't have IT experience, like, so I'm trying to get a master's. I want to actually do the education. I want to actually go further my studies in master's. So I'm planning to do a master's in cybersecurity, and I've seen one in information technology. So I need to know if it's really compulsory for me to like get a bachelor before actually doing the master's.
What did you study for your bachelor's degree? Gideon, is it my network or his? What did you study for your bachelor's degree?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. What did you study for bachelor's?
I did. Okay, I did political science and diplomacy.
Okay, so this is entirely different. Now, did you work in IC apart from the fact that you studied political science?
No,
Because you can study political
actually,
science.
this is my first time.
Okay, some schools can still give you
Sorry?
I say some schools can still give you a master's in cybersecurity, but there will be some elective or some sort of courses that you might need to do aside the regular ones with people with experience. So if it was the school I went to, for example, I'm trying to remember the name of the course. It's cybersecurity added with something. I had a friend from that particular class. So because he did economics, that's what he did in his bachelor's. So when he applied for cybersecurity, they gave him a different type of cybersecurity. He was quite aware, but he did something similar to what I did, but we did some advanced courses which they couldn't give them because they did not have like prior knowledge. That would be like stressing them because they might struggle with it, which is why I believe schools don't give that courses because you don't have the background. But for yours, I still believe you can get cybersecurity, just that there might be some courses that you might have to take alongside, or otherwise some schools at the same time will tell you you don't meet the requirements. But
Yeah.
I still think masters you can still get it regardless.
Yeah, I want to layer in there too, and Gideon, I only had to drop you just because there was a lot of network connectivity issues. We were having some issues hearing you, and but you asked some fabulous questions, and you posed some great things for us to dialogue about, and we only got less than 10 minutes, so we gotta move fast. Um, Not all degrees are made the same. I think you were saying that. I was hearing that Mimi coming out. Like, not all degrees are made the same. Some have more, prestige, higher prestige than others. Some, and that weighs different whenever it lands on your resume. Some have different, more practical components layered in. Some don't. Some just have complete theory. Some are super well rounded, let you touch multiple domains, and you only take one or two courses from each of those domains. Some are hyper focused on a specific niche within cybersecurity. So, a lot of different areas to play around with on the degree side. Oh, and not to mention the dollars. Did anybody bring up the dollars? Is anyone getting these degrees for free? Are these scholarship based, or are you doing these or are you having to pay out the pocket, or are you having to pay through a loan? So those are which could double in totality of the cost that it takes initially. So those are different hardcore decisions that you have to take into consideration, and it's a really big decision, and just make sure before you make that decision that you're doing your due diligence on what's out there. What do I really want to go towards? How is this going to really help me? Is it going to help me? um I see we have Zayad here. I'm looking at your profile. I'm gonna let you up, bro. I'm gonna let you up and see what you got. I think you might be the last person we can maybe get to. What's up, Zayad? How you
What's up,
doing?
Zayat? Good, good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a spam, just so so you know.
I'm scared.
Um,
I'm scared these
no, no,
days.
no, 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 no. I know. I feel you, but I when I see a lot of people asking those questions, it just resonates. That's why it just pops up.
Okay.
So so just to give you a very very brief background. I got a degree and masters in a very unrelated field. Like Vivian, I got a business management and governance, degree and masters. That is not even from US, right? But coming to US, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to learn, so I have to explore, right? So now I'm 5 years in Jersey, IT security Jersey, right? So I know a lot of things, IT Jersey. So I just want to tell people that before spending a lot of money and spending a lot of time, they can save themselves exploring first free resources. I didn't knew there are a bunch of free cybersecurity resources that people can read before spending a penny. I really want to advise everybody. Just because you got a master's, you are not going to get a job. The way to get a job, one, is a connection. It's very, very important. The second one is to reach out to agencies. There are agencies that specifically work on getting you job on IT. I had no technical background, not even started at a help desk level. I just jumped into GRC. Look at it,
Right now,
internships, boot camps.
hang out with us, bro. I want to engage Mimi. Hang out. I want you to keep that stream of thoughts, but we need to tackle a couple of those things that you mentioned. The recruiters. What are the mistakes that folks are making when engaging in recruiters these days, Mimi?
So a typical example is what happened with the previous guy. You see, he was asking a question concerning data or cybersecurity. That means he's confused. He doesn't have like a focused background yet. So when you're approaching a recruiter, I believe you should be telling the recruiter what you have to offer. You see, companies don't hire because they have too much money. They are hiring because they need somebody with that experience or with that expertise, right? So if you're going to approach them, don't approach them like you're begging for the position. You have something to offer, which is why you're approaching them. And that is what you should focus on. So when approaching a recruiter, you should be telling that recruiter your skills that you have and what you're looking for. And that recruiter can tell you, okay, I have this available, or I can search for this for you, and that. It's easier like that than going to act like, I'm not begging you for a position. I mean, I'm coming to do the job. You're paying me for it. So it's like, it's give and take, literally. Do you get it? So that's what most people should focus on, rather than going to approach a recruiter like they're going to beg for a position. It doesn't tally. You have something to offer, which is why you're sending that message in the first place. So tell them what you have to offer.
Yeah, I got some stuff to layer in there too. So with the recruiters, y'all, they may ghost you. They may ghost you, and they may not ever respond to your message. They may not ever return your phone call. But you cannot give up. You cannot give up. And there's so many recruiters out there, from the majors, your Robert Halves, your tech systems, and the list just goes on with these majors. Look at your nearby metropolitan area or existing metropolitan area, and look to see if there's IT staffing agencies available to you. They're regional based, so even if you are miles away, you can still call them and make contact. You may get a front desk person, but your goal is to talk to a recruiter, a real recruiter. If you can't go that route, or if you're striking out, constantly, go LinkedIn. These recruiters are on LinkedIn. If you have invested in yourself and you have a LinkedIn premium profile account, then you can actually send these folks messages and shoot your shot. And you want it to be a promising message. You want it to be a good, strong message, not super lengthy, a book, but you want it to have value of different things that you're trying to do. Likely some role that they post about that they're looking for. Typically, they got that purple circle around their profile, and they're telling folks about what the roles that they need. So if you have desires to get one of those specific roles, make sure your resume is on target. Make sure your LinkedIn is looking right. Sorry, Zayed, if you had something else, I think we still have some time to keep
And
going.
then,
Yep.
Nate, you didn't mention events. Try to attend events. That's where you can make real connection and have real conversation with people, even recruiters and even the businesses to themselves. Usually, AWS usually have their. I think they have it like 1 to 2 times annually. I know I've attended one of their events in London and one in the US. Now, when you go to this event, it's not just AWS that is there. They have other people like PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, just name it. Banks that also come there to also look for people they want to hire. So these are the kind of events you should go to and speak to them. You know what I did one time? I went to this AWS event. I met this hiring manager for PwC. He was actually hiring for a role, not what I was looking for, but I had a friend that was looking for a job in that particular role. You know what I did? We got talking and I asked him, can I take a picture of you and I together? So just in case my friend sends in an application and she doesn't get a response, I will reach out to you. And if I send you this picture, you will know who is speaking. I still have the picture till today. And yes, she got that role.
I like that. You have to get
Yeah,
creative. Go ahead, Zayed. Go ahead.
yeah, I really appreciate like the comments that you're giving is just on the spot. These are really very important things to know, right? With Mimi mentioning about reaching out when working with recruiters, it's what you offer. They're also looking for people. They're looking for skill. They're looking for knowledge and experience. If you offer that, you don't even have to search for them. They search for you, right? It's just like finding that connection and that match. And as you said, Nate, let's start local. Like which agencies are local, which people are local. Just reach out to them, have a coffee with them, talk to them, right? Of course, all of them may not respond. LinkedIn is very, very important, right? I can drop mine here so that we can get connected and have, we can share information around that. But go easy, go local, and don't focus around degrees. And that's not the biggest deal. The skill, what you offer, is very, very important. And attending events, conferences, as I said, start local, start virtual. Like if they have any virtual events, the problem is some of the folks don't even know which ones to attend, because they're, cybersecurity have a lot of divisions, right? It's a lot of areas. Like for somebody who is an outsider, they don't know the distinction between identity, GRC, or applications, whatever. I can't mention the technical stuff here, but just read. There are a lot. I spent a lot of money to learn, but I didn't spend 4 years. I just spent a year, but I spent a lot of money. Today, what I tell myself, if I knew that a lot of resources are available to me, I could have explored that, right?
Yep. And everyone, thanks, Zayad. I gotta drop you because we have run out of time. Everyone, I wish we had a little bit more. Apologize for the abrupt, slide in there. But Mimi, I do want to respect your time. I want to get you out of here. Can you share any last minute words? Do you have time for that?
Yeah, sure. So, um, I'm from a country. If we have Nigerians here, I believe so. Education in Nigeria, like going to a university in Nigeria, is very important. Like, how do I put it? It's like a competition. If you don't go to school, it's like you're a useless person. That's how it is in the country where I come from. I see a lot of people, especially in the Western countries, because I've lived in the UK, a little bit. I always visit the US and then in Canada. People are still successful even when they don't, go to college. But I'm glad my country is also changing that mentality that, it's not just college that makes one successful. So education was not an option for me to say no, I don't want to go. I would probably be disowned if I did that. So I love computers, and which is why I picked IT. I wanted to do computer engineering, like I said earlier on. IT was also available for me, which is how I landed into information technology. But regardless, even if you want to get into cybersecurity, one thing you should know is if you cannot afford education, there are still other ways you can genuinely learn, and even free to low cost resources for you to land a role. And secondly, another thing that I believe that people should also utilize or get help with is having a mentor. A mentor helps you, and it takes away the noises. A mentor that is already in the industry takes away that noises and that fear that you have and that confusion. And then you have someone that you can always go to and ask a particular questions or your struggles, and someone that can guide you or look at your CV and tell you, this is why you're not getting interviewed, or this is how I think you should position yourself. This is also very important. And then thirdly or lastly, you don't need a master's degree. Like I said earlier on, I love education, which is why I got a master's, but you don't have to get a master's degree for you to get into cybersecurity. Is not. I was already in cybersecurity before I had my master's, guys.
That's amazing. That's amazing. A bunch of different routes, but also a bunch of mistakes that you can make along the way. So I love that last message when connecting with people who have been there, done that. Even if they are not in the exact space that you're trying to be in or the role, if they have knowledge of that area or if they maybe previously did that, you got to get creative with how who you surround yourself around, and but you have to surround yourself around the people that in the like-minded brains that you want to be like one day or work towards. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mimi, for taking the time. That was amazing. Mimi, it goes live all the time. She has fantastic content. Please follow her. Please take time, engage, and participate whenever she goes live. She allows for you to ask questions, and she's fielding those questions, and she brings up fantastic folks like Tech Dens and others who are in the space that talk about it. What's up, Skills? I see you over there. What's up, Phil? We are signing out, y'all. We will see y'all next
Bye,
time.
guys.
Thanks, Mimi. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nate, for having